Whoa, that is not the sound you want to hear from your Miele washing machine, and that's definitely not the message you want to see. What we've got to do is pull this washing machine out and disconnect the overflow into a bucket, and we turn the water off here at the small valve there. Looking at the back of this machine, it almost looks like, you can see these streaks down here, it almost looks like water's been running down the back. So I may just take the top of the machine off first before I disconnect these pipes, just to see if there's anything really obvious. In memory, we need to just click out these little plastic clips here. There's a couple of screws there and a couple of screws at the back here. They're Torx screws, and you can get a set of Torx screwdrivers from Toolstation or Screwfix. The screws which come out the side look like that. The screws which come out the back look like that. Once you've undone those 4 screws, this should just lift up. Now there are little catches, and from memory you just need to pull it forwards towards you slightly as you lift it up. So you can see these hinges at the back here. This lifts up like that, and then those hinges are removable. There's nothing obviously loose on the top here, so I suspect that those streaks down the back there are just washing powder that's maybe run down with condensation or something. So we're going to carry on with the disassembly of this machine. In memory, I think there are some hidden screws behind this front panel in order to get this off, but I'm just going to take those screws out and have a quick look. The screws at the top, 3 on the top and 4 down the back here, are all the same. Just when you come to put it back together, these tabs go on the outside here and here. We're just going to take this bottom section here off. It should just pull off. It's not screwed on. The fact that the water alarm has been triggered will mean that this is sodden, because obviously you're going to have water in the bottom of the machine. There's a little float switch in there that gets activated when you get water in there. So we'll put this outside to dry. It's going to take quite a bit to dry out this sponge here. So we'll just hang it up, let that water dry out, and then maybe put that on the washing line. Once you've got that bottom section off, it reveals this screw here, which you'll have to take out before you can take the side panel off. I'm going to take this side panel here off so I can have a look inside the machine, but in order to do that, you need to take the front panel off because there are hidden screws behind this front panel here. This front knob just pulls straight off, like so. You have to get a screwdriver under there, twist it. In fact, it's easier to do it with 2 screwdrivers, and get another screwdriver at the back there and just carefully wedge it out. It kind of pushes down and then tilts forward. And then once it's started, it should be quite easy to get that off. That reveals a couple of screws here and here. These 2 screws look like that. To get this drawer out, you just push that down like so, and it should slide straight out. There might be some residual water in there. Once you've taken this panel off, which you can just rest up there, there are 3 screws holding this front section on, 2 there and 1 through there. Once you have this panel here off, it reveals these 2 screws here, which you'll need to remove to take off this front panel. One thing worth mentioning is the screw which goes on this side is slightly shorter than the other screws and has a bigger head, like so. The 2 screws holding on the bottom of the panel are shorter screws and look like this. We're just going to pry this panel open here, and that gives us access to the emergency release. You should be able to pull that and open the door, because we're going to need to reveal these screws and this screw here to take the front panel off. Everything holding this front panel on now is these 2 screws here for the lock. This larger either Torx here, you can also use an Allen key to get that out, and then there's a metal spring that runs around the side. You just need to get a watchmaker's screwdriver in there to prise that out. These 2 screws here are slightly different from the others because they have this plastic washer on them. Once you've taken that screw out there, the only thing attaching this front panel to the machine is this rubber thing here. The spring is at the bottom. To get this spring here out, you can just carefully get a large flat blade screwdriver and just pry it out like that. Once you've got that big round spring thing off, you just need to unpeel the seal. I've got my darling wife holding the door so it doesn't crash to the floor like that. Once you've taken the front panel off, you will see that the bottom of this machine is full of water, and basically this here is a float switch, and when the water gets to a certain level it activates that alarm. So the first thing we're going to have to do is get rid of all of that water, hopefully without making too much of a mess. When I screw this out and lift it up, in theory that water should all just flow through there and get absorbed. Just to speed up the process, you can also use a sponge. Just keep squeezing it until all of that water is absorbed. Be sure to get a sponge in there and get rid of all of that water as well. Otherwise that will just start condensing on all the electronics in your machine when you fixed it. We'll just get the last of the water in there with some good quality Blitz kitchen roll, just to absorb all of that, and then we can start investigating and looking for leaks. So it's not easy to see or obvious to see where the leak is coming from, so I think what I'm going to have to do is put the front of the machine back on and try running a cycle with the side off and seeing if I can see where the water is leaking from. To take the side panel off, you do need to take the front panel off to access those two screws, but once you've got the side panel off, and apart from the fact you can see into the machine, you can also mop up any excess water caught in these channels here. What we found with our dishwasher when it was leaking was that the leak was actually quite slow, but obviously the level of water builds up over a period of time until it triggers the alarm there. So we could have a slow leak, which is very difficult to see when the machine is on, or we could have a catastrophic leak with water squirting out, which in a way will be better because we'll be able to see where it's leaking from. Start off by putting this screw in first, and then you can put the other 4 screws in, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom, and then finally you can loop this over and put that spring back on, and of course tighten these 2 screws up for the lock. We've got all the screws in. There's nothing particularly tricky about getting the seal on. You just have to make sure it's hooked over properly. To get the metal spring on, I just use 2 flat blade screwdrivers. Start at the top, do this side first because it's by the hinge and trickiest to get to, and then just use the 2 flat blade screwdrivers to wedge that on. That should be us just about done. We just need to put the front panel back on, and then we've got the side off the machine, and we'll see if it will run through a cycle and see what happens. Put this panel here in, remembering that the screw on this side is shorter and has a slightly bigger head. And then this can safely click in. Do that with 2 hands. And once you've screwed that in with those 2 screws there, this here will just spring-loadedly tilt in that way. So push it down and push it back. Before I turn the electrics on, let's turn the water on and see if we can see anything obviously leaking. So the water has got a little isolator tap here. Let's turn that on first, and then we'll turn the got the power turned on. Oops. And then let's hit the on button here. Now that I've actually remembered to turn the water on, we can see what, if anything, is leaking. With the benefit of hindsight, I should have actually taken the other side panel off so I could get a much better idea where that water's coming from. I mean, it's really difficult to see from this side, but is that leaking there? There's signs of damp on the metal, or is that just where it was wet before? We might have to repeat this test with the other side of the machine off. Whoa, look at this. We've got water leaking from this hose, would you believe? Oh my goodness, we found the leak. And the reason it looked like the leak was running down the side of here, because that's exactly what was happening. It was running down and then slowly but surely filling up the bottom of the washing machine. So to fix this problem, we're going to have to change this hose here. So we've undone this hose clamp. When I take that hose off, a shed load of water is going to come out of there, so I'm going to try and catch it in this bowl. Just before I rush out and buy a new one of these hoses, I suspect what's happened is that the gasket or the seal in there is broken. So let's just see if we can prise this off. Maybe we can just actually put this section of the hose down the waste flow pipe and avoid having to buy a new one. So here's that section of hose there with this pried off. I wonder if there used to be a gasket in there to stop the water leaking out. It's pretty dirty and manky in there. So much gunk came out of that overflow pipe that I think I'll just take this fitting off here and clean it out if necessary. I've cleaned all of this up. It's not blocked, it's just a bit dirty. And then we can put everything back together. Try putting the end of the Miele pipe down here and see if that works without us having to buy a new hose. Just remember to do that up nice and tightly, make sure it goes all the way to the top. So we're just going to pop that in there now and see if that works. We won't put the top and the side on. We'll just run another 20-minute program and make sure that it doesn't all come flooding out of the top of there. We've run a couple of loads through this machine. There's no more leaks. The moral of this story is, if there is a moral, is that just because that alarm goes off does not necessarily mean that your machine is leaking. If your overflow pipe is touching the back of the machine, it could actually be running down and filling up the bottom of the machine, as we found out.